I see we're live. How's it going? I came to talk to you about the furries because I used to be a furry. I don't know how many of you know that. Sometimes I still have subscribers that are shocked. You used to be a Yes. Like, I'm not going to hide it. I don't like lying. I don't like deceiving. I'm an open book. And so I'm not ashamed or proud of it. It's just like a period of my life. When I was younger, my parents moved to another city. And so I had no friends in the other city. I had no connections. And I became introverted. Was playing World of Warcraft. Was sitting on IRC. And didn't know what a furry was. I found out. And I used to be a furry for most of my teenage years, all the way up until I got my first girlfriend. And when I got a taste of actual pussy, it turned me from a furry into a weeb. And I never got interested in furry art again. Because it's like, okay, now I have a girlfriend. And so I have some knowledge of the furry community. I do not know if they're the same now as they used to be back then. Obviously not. I made a couple of videos where I told people, if you're a furry still, do not give money to these people. Like, I understand, you know, the attraction, the yiffing, I understand it at a human level, but I read some horrible news coming from the organizers of the furry community, and I'm talking about fur conventions, the website that at the time was owned by Dragoneer for Affinity, and it was pretty bad. Like, they were bad people. And they also got infiltrated by Antifa, like they were promoting far-left extremism, communism. And I said, look, if you're a furry, I'm not against, you know, like, being a furry, because like it would be hypocritical for me to be against it. But don't give money to Fur Affinity. Don't go to their conventions. Do not, you know, patronage, because they're bad people. If you have like a furry artist that you like, that's one thing. But like if you donate to the establishment, and they, by establishment, it was like the people organizing the cons and stuff, you're giving money to very, very bad people. Yes, I was a furry. I think like people knew this. But anyway, why am I saying that furry's gone insane? Well, I'm pretty sure like a lot of people know the story of Foxler. This was one of the okay, Jesus fucking Christ. All right, I just read something else about the story that I didn't know, and there you go. Now you can see why it's a bad thing. So this is Foxler, right? And there's a picture of him in 2016. Notice the armband. Like, he's got this this thing from Second Life, which was like the Roblox of the time. And it's got like a paw print, and it's obviously a joke to the Nazis, right? Like, it's an armband. Like, he's like a furry Nazi. They put a 2,000-pound fatwa on his head, right? Basically, the idea was if you go, like, if he goes to a convention and another furry punches him, they get $2,000. Why? Because he's a Nazi. And furries are now anti-fascist, right? So, he created this thing, Furry Raiders. Apparently, like, he's been into a lot of controversies that I wasn't aware of. Like, apparently here it says in 2005, admitted to knowingly engaging in cybersex with a 13-year-old girl. Jesus. 2011, 24-year-old Foxler was accused to convince a 16-year-old girl to run away from her parents by sending her money and a puppy. I was unaware of these things. I'm finding them out now. Like, I'm realizing them as I'm reading them with you, chat. Foxler has committed that dressing up as a cute fox allows him to trap people and get their guard down, even kids. Foxler has been accused of committing bestiality, has admitted to having contact with a dog as a teenager. In addition to admitting to having sex with Fido, he has claimed that his dogs are sexual beings. He described French kissing a cop. Jesus fucking Christ. Now, I gotta say, none of this got him in trouble with the furry community. Like this wasn't the beef Okay, like this wasn't the main issue. This is like why they were upset at him. The reason they were upset at him is stuff like persona theft, right? Like apparently he stole the persona from another artist. That was the problem. And the other problem was the armband. Like that's what I knew. And they put a fatwa on him, a 2,000-pound fatwa, because of that. All the other thing are extras. Like those are like, by the way, you know, he's a bad person. Well, because of such and such and such. And so, yeah, I didn't know about those. I never went onto his Wikipedia page. This is the first time. And so I'm reacting with them, with the information live right now, along with you guys. V says he was a furry, still visits WikiFur. Oh, come on, I just did it because like I was curious about Foxler. Like, doesn't mean that I don't know about WikiFur. And here I am, enabling him with my wealth. You should enable me more. Well, welcome to the furry hour, you were warned. Yeah. Anyway, V, I understand you are a former furry, but Maglamite, the VTuber, is a current furry. Can we trust her? I mean, it's not about trust or not. Like, trust her with what? Are you going to go into a business endeavor with her? It's pretty much like every furry is different, and they're there for different reasons, you know? But if it's up to the furry leadership, like the people in charge, I wouldn't trust them. No. They got absolutely co-opted by Antifa. And the reason that Antifa was interested in them is because most furries have two things. Number one, a lot of cash. I don't know where they make so much money, but they do. And the other thing that they have is the ability to spend a lot of time. And so, like, if you want someone canceled, if you want, like, someone harassed on the internet, like, furries, they're terminally online. They're always there. And so, a lot of people who got fired during left-wing cancel culture and BLM, like, you would notice that the people contacting the employment place of their Twitter, almost half of them were furries. And so, like, this is why Antifa really wanted them, is because they were very easy to control. They were very easy to be recruited. And they were very useful to have as an activist force. Now, let's talk a little bit about the alleged assassin of Charlie Kirk, right? So the media says that he was buying furry adult games from Steam. Let me see if I can find the article so that you guys can see type of games that he was playing. But I don't know the games anymore. They looked homosexual in nature, right? And a lot of right-wingers are trying to insinuate that the video games did this, right? Like, because I looked at the comments under the article, which is from New York Post. And they're basically saying, well, if it wasn't for, like, the furry pornography games, like, he would have been a decent moral Christian, a pillar of his community, probably a very good engineer, you know? He would have married, had 7 kids, saved the white race. And my question is, like, is that true, though? Like, did cartoons mindfuck this person? Like, did some artist drew some cartoons, did a coder take the art and wrote a story, and thus they created a killer, a monster, right? Like you had a pillar of the community and the cartoons created him into a monster. No, it's not true. I'll tell you what happens. And this is the insider from the furry community. Like, if there are people that are also furries, they can confirm what I'm saying in the comment section. From my knowledge, there are usually like 2 types of furries, like the main 2 categories of people that are furries. I may be out of date, but back when I used to be, like, these were the prominent ones. Like, over 90% of furries were like this. The first group were people from abused families. So you're talking about here like kids who saw their parents divorce, kids being raised by single moms, or kids being abused. Like, at some point, you know, someone molested them, or they were viciously beaten by their dad, like something like that. Definitely like not normal childhood. Okay. And I don't like what was the percentage of people in the furry community, but like I remember I was talking with another furry, and we were talking like, hey, do you know that guy? Like, yeah, the Brazilian dude. Like, yeah, do you know that he got molested by a priest when he was younger? This is a real story, by the way. It's like he was crying, and then the priest let him go, and apparently, like, that priest was killing children. It's like, oh, the cops came in. It's like, yeah, that's a horrible story. But you know that other guy? Yeah, like that other guy, he was molested by his uncle. And I'm like, holy shit, really? Did that happen? It's like, yeah. But this other guy, like, wasn't he molested? Yeah. And it's pretty much like, you find out that you're surrounded by these people. Again, like, I don't know the percentage, right? Like, I don't know, like, how many of them were like that. I know that I wasn't. The guy I was talking with wasn't. But, like, a significant percentage of the people we know from the community, like, they definitely were molested. And so, like, that was shocking. It was like, one day you just have this conversation, then you realize, well, that's fucking weird, isn't it? The other group of furries that were there were children from parents that were helicopter parenting, and especially parents that were ideologically possessed. So, not all Christians, but Mormons specifically, evangelicals, and Orthodox Jewish people. I don't know if I ever met a Muslim furry. Probably like the servers that I was, like, didn't, and Muslims weren't prevalent in Europe at the time. But mostly like the furries that weren't molested, like, they came from these backgrounds. So, Mormon, evangelicals, but like, not like just any type of evangelicals, like the really hardcore ones. And the ones that came from like Orthodox Jewish families or Jewish families in general, right? Like societies that have like extremely strict rules, like meticulous rules, kind of like military and organization. I think like that was the main thing, right? Like their entire life was kind of run like the military. Like, this is the hour you go to church on every Sunday. This is the hour you need to do this. Now you need to fast. Now you need to do this and that. You're not allowed to play this game. You're not allowed to watch that. You're not allowed to do this. You need to be in bed by this hour. Right? So, these were furries, and I think, like, the reason was that they never had, like, a childhood. They were, like, they never had a sense of self. They had a sense of being told what to do, of being, like, directed. This is what you do now. This is what you're not allowed to say that. You're not allowed to do this, that. So, like, they were people that, they generally had no sense of I. Or like personal desires or stuff, right? And so the thing here is that I have spent a lot of time with groups on the far left, and I also interacted with groups of the far right. Now, I never actually got into like a far right group myself, but I did debate them, I did interact with them online. I know how they are and how they act towards other people. And I also understand the mentality behind far left groups, because like I used to be a furry and I was surrounded by far left people. And the way they target new members, it's not like it's an organization and they're like lurk in the shadows waiting to target you. No, the way it works is that they're very kind. Like, this is actually shocking, right? Because, like, most right-wingers interacting with the far left, like, you get hatred, you get them trying to ruin your life. But, like, if you're a young, influential person, and especially, like, someone that doesn't have any political beliefs, they're insanely kind. Like, they're very nice, genuinely nice, you know? They're hugging, they're welcoming, they're treating you as a person. And if you have, like, someone from a broken home, or someone that their entire life was treated like property, when they go into these groups, all of a sudden, they feel embraced, right? Like, they feel as if they belong. And that's the main issue. And it's not just furries, like, it's most far-left groups, like Antifa and all of the others, right? Their behavior is to be, like, very kind, very compassionate to people, and it feels like you're part of a community. It feels like you're part of something. And the problem is, like, if you allow that to happen, if you join their community, you start making friends, you're in the group, you realize that they tell you how to think. Like, the group think is insanely powerful there. You're not allowed to have your own opinions. You're not allowed to think for yourself. You're not allowed to have any type of critical thought. Like, you're supposed to just parrot what the group says. And so, like, if the group says that men can become women, and that misgendering someone is like murder, and Charlie Kirk is the worst person imaginable, they internalize that. They generally believe that. And so, this is what actually led to the radicalization of that man. It's not like he saw some cartoon porn and all of a sudden snapped. And I also don't think, like, when it comes to furries, I don't think, like, the video games are the problem, or that the art in particular is the problem. Any far left group would do. Like, if you have a person that, like, craves emotional validation and craves to be embraced by someone, then obviously, like, they're going to gravitate towards that. You know, and if it wasn't furries, it could have been Antifa. If it wasn't Antifa, it would have been something else. And usually people from, like, authoritarian right-wing panels, they gravitate towards left-wing circles, and people from authoritarian left-wing families gravitate towards right-wing circles. So, like, you will see a lot of people in the extreme right on various discords or on forums or whatever, and they will say exactly how, like, their parents were liberals, and how, like, their parents were into degeneracy or stuff like that, or you know, their parents are too soft and there's no rules. And it's kind of like how these groups, like, feed on the opposite, you know, if you know what I mean. Like the left is going to feed on the children of people that are right-wingers, and the right feeds on the children of parents that are atheist or parents that are liberal. It's actually interesting when you notice it. But yeah, it's blackmail by kindness. That's, well, not necessarily like blackmail by kindness. Because the thing is, like, they don't have an agenda, right? Like, they're not having a plan and a ledger for every new member. It's just like the way that the group works and the social dynamics, that it's inevitable it will happen. Yeah, and it's also like the concept that if you say it's the video game, then you're legitimizing the left. Because the left embraces safetyism. That's their culture. And if you're basically saying, well, we need to be safe, like, our society needs to be kept safe, so we need to ban video games, or we need to ban whatever, furry porn, or whatever the case may be. Well, then the left can say, oh, so you like safetyism. Well, we like it too. We think we need to buy the guns, right? So, like, we should have more gun control. And that's where the conversation goes. And it's not a good place, in my opinion. But it is what it is. I mean, if people want safetyism, that's their prerogative to get, you know. Games and art allow you to emulate being embraced by someone. Something, well, yeah, I mean, that's another idea, right? Like, a lot of people find escapism in games, and so, like, they're less likely to be as vulnerable. Where if you take the games away, well, they're just going to go for the groups, right? Join my cult. We believe in firearm ownership and big titties. Why is there no cult like that? All right, hold on a little bit. I'm drinking a little bit of Pepsi. I got Pepsi, chat. Got Pepsi so I can get fat. Okay. My parents were moderate and have drifted more progressive. I was moderate, drifted progressive in school. Have decided I was wrong. I'm fairly conservative. Yeah, but, like, you're not a radical, okay? What do I mean by extremist groups, by the way? Because this is another thing. Like, the mainstream media always fails to define what they are. When I say, like, far left or far right, I mean a group that doesn't allow for critical thinking or different ideas. So they get really angry if you try to speak your own mind, or if you try to find a different answer to a problem. I think that's radicalization. It's a groupthink. It completely ignores the individual. Like, it don't matter. You're a cog in a machine. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, the military has to run like that. But if your entire network of friends, if your entire life is surrounded by such people, that's how you get assassins. Because, like, a person needs to have its own critical thinking. It needs to have its own moral compass. You're not supposed to always do the thing that everyone else tells you need to do. You need to pass it through your brain filter. You can't always say I was just following orders. Like, you need to have, like, your own principles and your own positions. And you need to understand, like, if people are trying to take advantage of you, if they're just saying that they're moral in order to try to control you, you shouldn't always, like, just do everything. And if you realize that your entire group of friends, like, are not allowing you to express yourself, even in, like, the smallest ways, then you need to get the fuck out. You're in an extremist group. Whether it's far left or far right, doesn't matter. You're in a problem. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were radical as fuck. What V is describing barely exists on the far right. It depends what far right group. Like if you're looking at right wing groups, there's many Discord servers. There's many forums and places. So like what goes on in one isn't the same in another. But I do see, like, on Twitter right now is this, like, mass hysteria of banning porn. Right? Like, it started in I believe it's, like, 2022. Like, it's fairly recent. Like, it wasn't back before that. And if you have, like, someone that talks against it, or, like, you have someone that goes, you know what, I don't think the Jews are bad, or like, anything that's, like, his opinion, right? Like, he's not trying to change the group. He's not trying to influence people. It's like, this is my opinion. I don't think that the Jewish people are a problem. They immediately get ostracized, right? And so that's what an extremist looks like. A moderate doesn't give a shit. A moderate is like, okay, well, that's your opinion. Let's move on. Right? Like, there's different ways of handling groups of people and communities. Not all of them are the same. How to find them? I can't tell you on YouTube because I would get in problem. That's mostly a generational divide. Alt-right wingers are far more ban-happy. Perhaps. I think, like, the idea of controlling every aspect of society, like the idea of social engineering and controlling what every single person thinks, I think, like, that's the extremists, right? Because, like, a normal person, like, as long as they can control the actions of people in public, they're happy, right? So, like, okay, well, these are the rules for behaving in public. This is public life. This is how you behave. But the moment you start going into people's houses and, like, how they behave in their private homes, and you also start to be concerned on, like, how people think. So, like, even if they didn't commit a crime, even if they didn't do anything wrong, it's just the fact that they have a thought or that they're thinking incorrectly is enough to target them. I think that's going to the extreme. That's the authoritarianist part. I own nuclear weapons for defense, just as the founding father intended. You know, like, the thing is, I actually wondered, would it be a problem if someone, like, if people were allowed to own nuclear weapons? Because, like, this is a question that the left constantly uses. It's like, oh, okay, so the founding fathers wanted you to have guns. What if I want to have a nuke? And I actually thought about it. I don't think it would be a problem. I know it sounds ridiculous, but, like, hear me out. To have a nuke, it would cost so much that almost no citizen would be able to have one. And the people that would be able to have one, like, they're probably rich enough that they do care about optics. And so, like, okay, you have, like, someone that is rich and has a nuke. Now he also needs to have a delivery system. And that's also expensive as fuck. And now he needs to maintain the nuke. And so what I realized is, like, most people, like, even if they were allowed to have one, wouldn't. And even if you were able to have one and you wanted to, the only way you could buy it is from the government because they're the ones controlling the uranium. And so if you buy it from the government can just put restrictions on you. I mean, technically it's legal to buy the uranium, but like, what if the government says, yeah, sure, we'll sell it to you, but you're not authorized to use the nuke unless we give you permission. So, in the end, like, you're talking about someone that would have to spend probably $20-40 million just to acquire it and have the facility to store it. And it would be covered in like so much legal tape, and it would be completely useless. So like, even if you were to say, yeah, like people can have nukes, the practicality of it would mean that almost no one could have them. Elon Musk wanted to terraform Mars with 50 nukes. Well, okay, let's assume that you have someone like Elon Musk, a private individual, that would find a way to somehow use nuclear weapons to terraform a planet. I think he can do it. Like, I honestly think, right? Because, like, this is the thing. People are banned from having nukes, right? Like, private people are banned from having nukes. Elon Musk, despite the fact that he's a private individual, is also the richest man on Earth. And so, he can actually go and petition the government. And if he has, like, solid scientific backing, and he can show, like, look, if you guys give me 15 nukes, I can actually terraform a planet. I don't know if this is true or not, but, like, hypothetically speaking, right? I'm pretty sure the government would give them the nukes, yes. Because, like, there's another thing that most people don't know. Nukes, they have a shelf life. And apparently when they expire, they have to be decommissioned. So you need the experts to come in and dismantle them, and it's very expensive. And so, like, the government being able to launch 15 nukes into Mars, like, that's not a problem. So, yeah, like even private individuals, like, theoretically, if they can have a good reason, and they come with, like, scientific backing, and they are willing to pay, because I'm pretty sure the government would go like, okay, we're giving you 15 nukes, what do you give us? And he will be like, okay, well, contracts with this and that, and I'll give you, you know, based on SpaceX, blah, 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 blah. And then the government would say yes, yeah. Hello, infamous Luigi, welcome to the show. Base kid for building his nuclear reactor himself. Now, the problem is, like, even if you wanted to, like, finding uranium is very difficult, right? Like, you'd have to treat with the government to get it. And, like, no one is going to just deliver it to you because it requires protections and gear and stuff. So, yeah, it's not, like, even, the idea is, like, oh, so, like, you think nukes should be legal? Yes, sure, why not? Anyway. What would nukes do to terraform? I don't know. I just read that someone in the chat said that, and I used it as okay. Let's assume that this is the case. What will happen then? All right. This one is actually something that shocked me, and I'm like completely baffled. Okay. I want you to watch the screen right now, because this one is... I don't know how to describe it. I don't know. Bridget Macron, so not the Bridget from Overwatch, is going to offer court photographic evidence proving that she is a woman. And my first instinct is like, why would she subject the court to this? Like, what exactly have they done? What transgression has the poor judge and jury committed in order to have these things forced on them, right? Like, can you imagine? No, seriously, like, you're on jury duty, you know, you're already pissed off because your life has been turned upside down, like, you have to show on jury duty and whatever. And you know that you're going to have to watch what appears to be photographic evidence that proves Bridget Macron is a woman. Alright, no. Wouldn't most women just not give a fuck? Okay, people think I'm... Oh, alright, so fine, whatever, you know? Like, when I was younger and my voice was cracking, I remember I was answering the phone. And because, like, the distortion of the phone and my voice was, as a teenager, most people would call me ma'am. And I was cringing and whatever, you just move along. But like, she's got an obsession to prove the critics wrong, right? She wants to tear down Candace Owens. What does photographic evidence even mean? Can they question the evidence? Like, can they ask, how do we know it's not AI? How do we know it's not a Photoshop? How do we know it's not a body double? Like, is that allowed? Can you investigate? Because it's in a courtroom, right? And if it's in a courtroom, like, they can't just say, oh, you're into conspiracy theories. Like, no. You presented the evidence, and now the defense has the right to look into it. Why not just a DNA test? Do they not do those anymore? Are they illegal in France? Do you know that paternity tests are illegal in France? I'm not kidding. Do you know why? Because apparently, like, they concluded that the rate of infidelity in France is so high that it would destroy a lot of families. See, a lot of people think that the child custody laws are done to benefit women. No. They were think of the children type of laws. Because it's the idea, it's like, what is better for a child? To live in a family with a cock? Or to live in a family with a single mom? And at the time, the lawmaker, which were men, by the way, they thought, no, it's actually better for the child to live in the family with a cock. And yeah, in France, like, paternity tests are illegal. Besides Macron, everyone else had a mistress. Like, it's public knowledge in France, right? Like, all the presidents had mistresses. Macron is the only one that doesn't. He's got Bridget, which is going to prove the media wrong. And the entire world, she's going to prove to us that she's not a man. She's a lady. Wasn't very ladylike when she punched Macron, though. Like that, slapped him. Sorry, slapped him or punched him. I couldn't see. It was blurry. It happened so fast. Like, he was going down the door to the plate opened, and she was like, Bridget, punch! Like, she used her ultimate. But yeah, so this is wild. Like, put yourself in my shoes. You wake up in the morning, you read the news, and that's what pops up. And you're like, what the fuck? What if her female anatomy is very large? Like, you see it on some actresses on various websites that require robust age verification now to log on to them from France. And it's like, they're women, but they have it, like, their female anatomy is very big. Huh? Now we need to ask, like, what type of woman is she? Because, like, there's two types of women. Like, you have the legacy women, and then you have, like, the modern women, the American ones. The ones that came before the Trump era, the ones that keep popping up on CNN recently. So you gotta wonder, like, which type of woman are we talking about here? I honestly think that Big Mike is actually a woman. I see that this is the thing. Like, when Obama filed the divorce, he's marrying a woman. So, like, if Obama was into chicks with dicks, like, he would go after another dick, but no. Remember the base Scottish politician lady who whipped out her beaver in an argument over what is a woman? I do not remember that, but if she was Scottish, that is so unfucking brand, isn't it? Pregnancy pictures? Well, does Bridget have? But the thing with pictures, though, right? Like, and I definitely think that video evidence is going to become more difficult to admit in court. We live in the age of AI. Like, we can't pretend we're not. You can literally fabricate anything with AI now. And sure, the AI isn't perfect, but, like, you can get an actual digital specialist, and it can take, like, the imperfect AI and then start to manually rearrange it. So, like, yeah, just because you're showing me a picture, doesn't mean that I necessarily have to believe that it's real when it could be a deep fake. Like, simply questioning an image now, you shouldn't be accused of conspiracy theory. When in 2025, pictures and videos don't have the same weight and gravitas like they used to have 20 years ago. Like, technology has advanced. And by the way, like, they're going to constantly use this against people. You know, you're going to see an image and you're going to say, well, hold on a little bit, I don't believe in this. It's because you're into conspiracy theories. No, it's because I know the technology of the current year. Like, any type of moron with Gemini or ChatGPT and a prompt can fake an image. Like, it doesn't require an entire studio. It doesn't require forensics and people that... No. Alright, ChatGPT, generate me an image of Macron's wife's lady bits. No, you know what I can do? Just so I can show you, right? I'll ask Gemini to show me that the chat is filled with super chats. Right? Just so you can see how easy it is. So, let me just log in to Gemini really fast. And I'll show you, because a lot of people like don't use the program, so they generally have no idea how advanced it is. Okay, so look here, bigots. So I'm uploading the screenshot of the chat right now, and I'm going to ask ChatGemini, make it so the chat from the YouTube stream I'm watching is filled with red and with red, yellow, and green super chats. And this is a commercially available AI. This is not, right? Like this is not something expensive. This is not something that you have to pay money for it. And I can tinker with it and make it look real, by the way. But just so you can understand how fast it is, right? Like, it took literally a couple of seconds. Now, if I actually show it a picture with real super chats, and I compare it with this one, and I say make the super chats look like the real ones. Alright, hold on. Make the super chats look authentic. The exact same type that appears on YouTube. I wonder if it knows. If it doesn't know, you can just have a reference to it. Yeah, it doesn't know. That's fine. Like, you can use a reference. You can use a picture with the actual super chats and how they look. And then you can do this, and in 5 seconds, bam, you get it. Yeah, it looks messed up because you need to tinker with it a little. But, like, what I'm trying to say is that this is the technology we have now, right? And so, like, if she comes up with a picture that proves that she's a woman, I'm curious, like, if the other side can go, like, hold on a little bit. We would like to do some forensics on that picture. People who are not using AI are being left behind? Not really. I mean, it depends. The market refuses AI, which is a good thing. Like, most of the people now are really against it, or emotional level, I would say. Like, if you make a video game using AI, people just don't buy it. I tried using some thumbnails with AI just to see how people react, like if it's better to use thumbnails rather than... and apparently it doesn't work. I've been watching you since 7th or 8th grade. Jesus fucking Christ. Why do I have kids watching me? I appreciate it, but I always thought that my content is for people that are more mature. I'm 23 and married. Well, that's actually great. you're going to have healthy children. Keep it up. Thank you. Right. So hold on. Let me try something else. I'm going to try and see if I can get the super chats to look like Ryan's. So I'm going to say, make the YouTube chat have 5 super chats like Ryan's, but from different people. Right? So I posted a screenshot of what Ryan's super chat looks like with the original chat. And let's see how long it takes. And let's see if it does a good job. There you go, right? Obviously, like, you need to tinker with it and the prompts and everything like that, but my point is that if you fine-tune it, you kind of get whatever you want, and so Bridget coming up with like, oh yes, well, I can have an image of myself. It's like, why don't you get a DNA test by an approved laboratory, and that would end the conversation right there and then. Like, it's so weird, because like most people just, you know, go with the DNA test. Like, if someone asked me, like, V, are you a man? Prove it. Like, I would never, like, even think to show them a picture of my dick if we're talking about, like, a legal sense, right? Like, in a legal sense, I'd be like, okay, a DNA test would suffice. Why would I take a picture? Oh, my God. My game doesn't use AI, no. And again, I explained it. It's the market. Like, the market just automatically rejects. Did I get the rainbow flag? Best excuse for a dick pic ever? Oh my God. AV, have you heard or read about the incident in Russia where a manga publication was fined millions of rubles for posting a manga which has a relationship between a woman and a snake? No, I haven't heard, but I'm not surprised. I know that Russia has very strict laws on adult content. Russia is actually in a very peculiar place. A lot of them absolutely love and adore anime, but they do it in silence because the government doesn't really like that. But what the government does like is fine. So, like, if they find a reason to take some money from your company by fining, then they will do it. So it doesn't really surprise me. Usually the way it works in Eastern Europe is that you're kind of allowed until there's a scandal. So the reason that they probably got fined is because, like, there was a scandal about it. Kaibar barbecue, what are good hobbies? Good hobbies are things that make you happy. I don't believe in such a... Like, it depends on the type of person you are, right? That's why we have many hobbies. If you're an introvert, the hobbies you like may not be the same ones for extroverts. And it also depends what type of person you are. Like, are you a creative person? Or are you a person that likes to read, you know? There's two types of people. There's people that enjoy playing video games that are sandbox, and those are creative people. And I absolutely hate that. I mean, playing a video game in a sandbox. I like video games that have a beginning, an end, and a story. Like guardrails. Yes. Basically, if you're an extrovert, the best type of hobbies are things that involve other people. So football, soccer, even board games, right? Like going out, hiking, like that's the type of thing that extroverts love, like meeting people, engaging with people. Introverts, they like different types of hobbies. So shipbuilding, drawing, painting, writing, playing video games, right? Like, these are things that introverts like. My opinion that a good type of hobby is what makes you happy. Like, there is no cheat code. There's no, you know, and what a person feels happy of is not what another person would feel happy with. Like, if like, for example, someone says hiking, right? Like, I'm pretty sure hiking is nice unless you're from Chicago. But are you going to hike in Chicago? You get killed. You step out of the house, you get a drive-by shooting, that's it. Your life is over. There's no GTA, there's no respawn button. And so, hiking is amazing for someone that lives in a mountain in a small town USA. Not so great for someone from Chicago. Imagine Scat Francisco, right? Like, you're trying to hike and all of a sudden slap your foot into human feces. Right? Not good. You need to set aside time for your own happiness or make room for resentment. I'm listening this as I'm on the treadmill. Well, see, introverts have found a way to hike, or extroverts have also found a way to hike, even in Scat Francisco. Do you know that if you have a dog or a cat, you can put them on the treadmill? It's actually pretty fucking funny. They like it. Like, that's the thing. My cat absolutely liked the treadmill. They're very confused at first. Like, they don't fucking realize what's happening. But, like, the moment the cat realizes what the treadmill is, it absolutely starts to love it. I misspelled furry. Isn't it with 2 R's? Because otherwise it's Fury. I took a ±2 hours ride today. The leaves in the mountains are beautiful this time of year. Oh, that's interesting. Well, apparently you live in a safe neighborhood, right? I think he's asking you what my hobbies are. Oh. Well, okay, I'm a middle-aged man, so, like, my hobbies are different than what they used to be when I was young. You'll notice this. Like, as life moves on, a lot of the things you enjoy now seem like shit. And sometimes I wonder, do I not like to watch movies anymore because, like, I'm old and my tastes are different, or is that Hollywood is shit? And I came to the conclusion that it's worse. It's actually both. And so my enjoyment of many things have been completely destroyed. What do I enjoy? Well, I mean, I enjoy making videos. I enjoy my work, and this is like the best thing ever when you actually enjoy doing your job. Most of my day is actually occupied by making the videos, editing, and all of that. Then I enjoy creating stuff, so I'm creating my video game. I really enjoy that, and I enjoy micromanaging my team and making sure that the game comes out as polished as possible. I also enjoy spending time with my son. It's very difficult to describe to someone without children just how nice it is when a child actually starts learning things and they actually start walking and they interact with you for the first time. So I enjoy that. I enjoy cooking. It's weird. Most men don't like cooking. I like cooking. In fact, I think that if my wife is allowed to cook, she's going to poison the household. So I try to avoid that whenever possible. She's not paying attention. Like, she leaves the dish over there on the cooking stove and leaves the kitchen. Like, to me, it's horrible. And she always makes a mess. Like, when I walk into the kitchen and I want to reach for the stuff that I need, it's not over there. It really infuriates me. And so, yeah, I'm usually the one that cooks. But other types of hobbies, I guess, it's kind of boring. I generally, like, don't like traveling at all. It's actually a nasty thing. Like, if you have a house that looks great, and when you travel, the hotel room looks worse than your house, it's like, Oh, you love cooking? Well, I said usually men don't like. I didn't say all men don't like mega. You need to pay attention. And I didn't say all men. I said men don't like. And maybe you need to now send a picture next to Bridget to convince the judge and the jury that you are a man. Because if you like to cook, it's suspicious. Yeah, I did burn water once. Look, people learn from mistakes. It is absolutely true. I did burn water. I didn't know that water can burn. But apparently, like, what happened is that I left the kettle on the stove. And I forgot it there. I think it was like 1 or 2 hours. I even forgot it exists. And when I went back down into the kitchen, like the pot looked white. It was a gray pot, a metallic pot, and now it looked white. All the water evaporated, but it had like this flour texture on the side. I don't know what it is. I assume that the water I'm drinking is unhealthy. Maybe this is what the right-wingers say, you know, because women take the pill and then they piss, and then you drink the piss of other women and it makes you feminine. I understand, like, this is what right-wingers in America are telling me. Might be true. I don't know. But, like, I understand, like, they constantly drink their own women's piss. And so, like, they take the hormones from the women. Right? Am I following this conspiracy theory correctly? Do I have a right-winger that can explain it to me? Because, like, every single time I'm on Twitter, I see someone, usually with a cross in the bio for some reason. And they're basically like, the reason the pill is destroying America is because, like, women pee and there's a lot of their hormones in the water. Which, don't get me wrong, like, might be true, but, like, you're telling me that Americans, like, constantly drink their women's piss? You didn't know this. You didn't know this. Like, don't tell me that I... Come on, someone from the chat, tell me. Like, usually you guys tell me what I'm talking about. Like, please explain the conspiracy in a proper way so I can figure out if I'm crazy or not. Is the filtration and water treatment plants. Okay, so the hormone for birth control pill doesn't get filtered out. Right, so, like, if this is the case, if the filtration from the water plants is a problem, doesn't it bother you that you drink your mother's piss? Like, as an American, and you don't just drink your mother's piss, you drink your dad's piss as well. Like, you're a country of piss drinkers. Like, seriously. Like, this is one of the wildest conspiracy theories that I have ever heard, because, like, usually what happens is that water gets diluted, right? And you also have, like, rain and, you know, like, water evaporates. It's not like the filtration plant to Barales. Like, that's important, sure. But, like, when your water goes to make the soup, like, when you take water from your faucet and you put it in the soup, they're not supposed to be, like, hormones in there. And if there are, what about the industrial industry? That's not the industrial industry. The slaughterhouses, right? Like, do you know how much shit they pump into those animals? Like, when you go to an industrial pig slaughterhouse, or an industrial slaughterhouse for bovines, right? Like cows. Like, I mean, all of the feces and all of the urine, they get put into the water as well, and they're pumped up with antibiotics, and they're pumped up with everything. So, like, if the idea that the filtration is failing at such a surprising level, and even if the filtration fails, like, then the rain and the movement of water in nature is still not enough, so that when you go into your house and you pour in a bucket, like, you're having, like, all the cow piss in there, you know, having, like, all that shit. Man, that's a problem. Yeah, like, only human grow hormones? You'd be surprised. Like, for instance, when it comes to insulin, the first insulin hormone for humans was made from pig's pancreas. And I feel like you can still do it today from dogs. Like if there was a massive shortage of insulin, you could actually prepare insulin from a dog's pancreas, right? Adrenaline as well. Like, if you take human adrenaline and you stab it into an animal, you stab it into a pig, it would work. Not as effective, not at the same way, but it does, right? So, poison mushrooms, like, that would be another problem, right? Like, if you throw poison mushrooms in the water supply, like in your house, like you're throwing them in the bathroom, well, by this logic, like, their chemical compound would go and bypass the filtration system. It doesn't work like this, chat. It doesn't work like this. It's because of the concentration and the movement of water in nature. Like, you have water evaporating, you have rain dropping in. The chemical compound of the like, the chemical bonds of the hormones, they don't remain bonded while water is moving rapidly through sewers, through the filtration system, through all of that. You're fine. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I lived in New York City for many years. Actually went caving in the tunnels when they were being improved. Did you find the Jewish people? Because, like, there was an article that I found out in New York City about Jewish people. And New York City, Jewish caves. What do we find? Oh, it's on Wikipedia. Right, like, so now it's on Wikipedia. Like, what I'm saying isn't a conspiracy theory, right? New York City synagogue tunnel incident. So if you went into the tunnels, did you meet any of the people from the synagogue? Clashes broke out at the world headquarters of the Chabada Lubavitch movement after construction workers hired by the synagogue's leaders attempted to fill in a tunnel that students had illegally dug beneath the building. The world headquarters are located blah blah blah. So the New York City Fire Department received an anonymous call. They made an inspection on the building and they found that the existence of the tunnels was first reported by the local media. The tunnel was constructed by students as part of an attempt to illegally expand a process. Basically, I think like they were going to fuck women. Because, like, they weren't allowed, so, like, they had the tunnels dug through the dorms of their girlfriends or something like that. Let's see. To protect the hidden passageways, men were seen tearing up with... What do they say why they build them? Hold on, no. I want to know now, because, like, you can't cock tease me like this. You can't tell me what happened, right? So, we're going to find out, why did the Jews in New York City build tunnels? What was the purpose of the recent 2024 incident? Now I need to know. Was discovered under the Chabada headquarters, right? The supporters of the tunnel claim it was part of a long-postponed expansion plan. The existing synagogue is overcrowded. There is limited space for worship and study. Who believes this? Who believes this? It's like, oh yeah, well, we dug a tunnel because we wanted to study. There's a faction who believe that the Messiah will return and that expanding 770 is not just a logistic issue, but spiritually important. What is not supported claims that the tunnels were for human trafficking, and some media assumptions that the tunnels started to point toward pathways were later refined. I don't think so. I don't think, like, the spatial need is the issue. Like, I'm not saying that the other ones are, right? I'm not saying that the conspiracy theories are true. But if you were to tell me, like, okay, so, like, the students built tunnels in order to meet their girlfriends on the other side, I would be like, okay, well, that's reasonable. Why is it controversial? Doing construction without permits is illegal. Internal community strife. Reputational risk. Media coverage, sensationalism. How do you build a tunnel without proper machines and without anyone hearing, though? What is the greatest conspiracy theory about the tunnels? Secret abuse, trafficking, ritual or occult activity, cover-ups by leadership, wider corruption by the political elites, mistrust in secretive groups, anti-Semitic tropes, social media virality, real tension and secrecy. Draw me a picture of one of the Jewish students digging the tunnel while another Jewish student is sitting in a place that was recently dug up, reading and studying at a table lit by a romantic candlelight. So this is the image that I'm being told to believe, right? Like, this is what it looks like. I need someone from New York City to tell me what the madness is. Like, I'm Eastern European. I know bullshit when I smell it. Like, I'm not saying it's human trafficking or any of the other accusations. I am saying that the reason given is that, like, find me another one. Like, please. Anyone, like, anything else would do, just not this one. ChatGPT is a lot slower than Gemini. But I'm not going to ask Gemini anti-Semitic questions so I get flagged. I would rather ask ChatGPT. And I don't even know if this question is anti-Semitic. I assume, like, if you have to ask, it probably is, right? So... look at this Picasso. May take a moment. Alright, here we go, chat. It's happening. Slowly but surely, the veil is being pulled down. We're going to see. We're going to see the see if you're the mainstream media, can you use this as a thumbnail? Like, this is the thing. If I want to use this as a thumbnail, people get upset because it's made by AI, but like I put work into it. Like, you can see my effort, like my creativity. Like, the AI didn't come up with this by itself. Like, I had to put the prompt. Look, right? This is what they were doing. Like, they were digging up space in order to have more room for studying. That makes perfect sense. If this is what the mainstream media told me, sure, why not? Absolutely. Makes sense for me. Hold on a little bit. Do it anime style. There we go. But like, right, so no. This is exactly what they say, right? So, like, the reason for the dig. Supporters of the tunnel claim it was part of a long postponed expansion, right? Because there's limited space for worship and study. So, like, they were digging to have space for study, right? Like, right? Like, am I not following the... Hold on. No. I'm doing something poorly. Let's do it properly, okay? Like, the proper prompt, chat. Are you ready for the proper prompt? Proper prompt. So, do it anime style. High resolution. Absurd resolution. Dynamic pose. Warm eye view. Dramatic lighting. Motion blur. Shonen-like. Let's go, chat. Let's see what we get. This is going to be good. Honestly, like, Gemini would have been better. Like, Gemini does really good pictures. This one, it tries. It's like the little engine that could. Problem with Gemini is that, I'm sorry, I can't do that, Dave. That's offensive. Dave, what the fuck are you doing? Dave, stop it. Stop it, Dave. No. You can't do that, Dave. and like, ChatGPT just does it. Grok does everything. Like, Grok is like, sure, I'm your man. What do you need? Do you need racism today? Do you need sexism? What's your poison? Tell me. Anti-Semitism? Ooh, we can't do that. Dave, not even I. Not even Grok. But luckily, there's nothing anti-Semitic here. It's just the tunnels have to be enlarged to make more room for study, so this is fine. We're getting it, chat. We're getting it, right? Anime style, high resolution, absurd resolution, dynamic pose, warm eye view, dramatic lighting, motion blur, and shonen-esque. Let's see what we get. Holy shit, this is actually pretty fucking good. Look, it's got the the dramatic motion lines. It's coming, chat. Look how intense he is. Oh my god. Like, study faster. The New York City Fire Department. New York City Fire Department. So that way I need to finish studying. Right. I'm happy with this. Can I use it for the thumbnail of the... or you guys will get upset if I use it? You hate it so much you can't breathe? Oh. If I remember right, it was that they were using the tunnel to access a closed part of the building that belonged to another group of Jewish people. Oh, I see. It's not about my internet sucking. Like, you don't understand. This is not a problem. Like, the picture isn't sent fast enough. Like, it's being generated and then sent to me. That's fine. I think what it is like ChatGPT is throttling the speed so that they don't get bombarded. Like, it's kind of like limiting their processing power. Anyway. V, is it too late to ask about the bloody mattress? Kudasai? It wasn't blood, it was coffee. They have to study, don't you understand? So if they study, they stay up late. Mr. Oregon, why are you a conspiracy theorist? Everything can be explained. People who study, like, have you never been to a dorm? Have you never, studied at a university? Like, you find out that you need coffee. You need a lot of coffee. So, like, the mattress, which was there, had some coffee stains on it. Chat. I'm gonna go now. That's it. That's all you get from me for today. Zephyr is here, so I'm running away. I will see you tomorrow. If you set your time 1 hour before now, that's when I stream. That's when you can catch me in the act. So, yeah. Thank you for the super chats. Appreciate it. Especially, hold on, I want to name him again. Ryan Garrison, who has been watching me since 7th or 8th grade. Even he doesn't know. That's fine. I'm glad that I entertain you. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.